these Vedas which were handed over to Manu, the original inscriptions is said that they were there in Sanskrit, and further these were interpreted by many of the jurists, Hindu jurists or sages or seers of ancient Hindu, wherein
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
या कुंदेंदु तुषार हारदवल या शुभ्र वस्त्र या वीणा वरदंड मंडितकरा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्मच्युत शंकर Mr. program fraternity and as well encouraging all advocates to participate by preparing their own subjects on their own topics. The topic which I have selected, initially it was Hindu law in general, but later on,
of Wirecast.
Going through the material and the text, I thought it appropriate to dedicate this webinar only to the Hindu law and its origin and nature. And I have concised it in such a manner so that it would be
this is a demonstration of Wirecast.
More practicable and easily understandable to all the viewers who are already acquainted and familiar with the concept of Hindu law. If we look back to the Indian history, we find that Hindu law, though there is no specific definition of Hindu law, the Hindu jurists
this is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Have stated that the enforcement part of law is Dharma. In the sense, law is nothing but Dharma. In fact, Dharma includes aspects which will be discussed further. The concept of Hindu law
this is a demonstration of
has an evolution from the eulogies of Almighty God, which date back to at the stage of Vishnu Purana, wherein the 4 Vedas were given to the first man of the world, who is
this is a demonstration
Manu,
of Wirecast.
by Vishnu himself, when he took the avatar of Matsya and rescued Manu, and the 4 Vedas were handed over to Manu to teach those Vedas for the betterment of human life. Now this is where the concept of Hindu law emerged.
This is a demonstration
in the
of
form
Wirecast.
of Dharma. These Vedas, which all the viewers are aware of, these Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Athar Veda. these Vedas which were handed over to Manu,
This is
the
a demonstration of Wirecast.
original inscriptions is said that they were there in Sanskrit, and further these were interpreted by many of the jurists, Hindu jurists or sages or seers of ancient Hindu, wherein the basic document was interpreted in their own way, looking into the circumstances, situations which emerge as on them.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Subsequently, these inscriptions by the sages were known as Shruti, Smriti, and commentaries, digests, which further
This is a
were used in
demonstration of Wirecast.
judicial precedents, then later on in legislations, so on and so forth. Now coming back to the term Dharma, how it has to be understood. Dharma, as I said, is
This
not
is a demonstration
specifically
of
defined.
Wirecast.
It means that the rules which govern the whole mankind, it is said by Manu that these are the rules to govern the entire mankind, and the persons who are learned in Vedas,
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
and what is approved by the conscience of the virtuous, who are exempt from hatred and inordinate affections, they follow this Dharma. For instance, I would like to quote an instance as to how a son follows his Dharma, Putra Dharma, towards his father,
This is a
as you all are aware
demonstration
of this fact.
Wirecast.
At the lockdown situation, wherein we have all together seen this Mahabharata, Ramayana, and other mythologies, Hindu mythologies, which are being telecasted in television. Dashratha, though did not express his intention that his son should go to Vanavasa
This is a
for 14 years,
demonstration of Wirecast.
the assurance or the words given by Dashratha to his wife Kaikeyi, wherein it was her intention that her son Bharata should rule the kingdom and Rama should go to Vanavasa. This was not at all the
This
words
is a
of
demonstration of
Dashratha,
Wirecast.
but for the reason that he had promised his wife that he would fulfill her desire in a given time. In order to fulfill that condition, Rama fulfilled the desire of his father, though he did not expressly said these in
This
words.
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
So the conduct of Rama towards his father shows the Putra Dharma. So this is the situation or the concept of law in our country, that without there being any enforcement agency, without there being any laws, without laws written or legislated. This was the concept
This is
where
a
only
demonstration of wire
the
caste.
to fulfill the words of his father, a son would do anything. This was the concept of dharma in ancient India. Now, after looking at this example which I just now said, Manu
This is a
said
demonstration of wire caste.
as to what is dharma. I would like to quote the Sanskrit mantra which defines or which says what is dharma. It says Vedam Smruti Sadachara Swavasya Cha Priyamatmanam
This is a
Etad
demonstration of wire
Chaturvidho
caste.
Praha Sakshat Dharmasya Lakshanam. It means that dharma, in order to constitute that whether any particular fact is a dharma or conduct is a dharma, one has to follow the Vedas or approved usages and what
This
is
is a
agreeable
demonstration of
to
wire
one's
caste.
soul or good conscience are the quadruple direct evidences of dharma. So if one follows these at any given situation, any problem would have been resolved by one such mantra which the Manu had said.
This is a demonstration of wire caste.
Now we saw what the Manu had explained about dharma and Hindu law in his texts. Now let us go into the Western philosophy or the Western jurists who have explained Hindu law or the dharma in their commentaries. One of
This is a
them
demonstration of
being
wire caste.
Werner Minsky, who says, I would like to quote, according to Werner Minsky, Sanskrit does not have a single word that means law. The word dharma in Sanskrit, which is equivalent to dhamma in Pali, is what is used for law. Etymologically, dharma derived
This
from
is a demonstration of wire
root word
caste.
dhri, which means to hold together. Dharma is meant to hold the human race together. Its meaning is multifarious and is used to mean duty, morality, obligation, and law, and need not have only a religious basis. Dharma comprises
This
court
is a
procedures
demonstration of wire
and
caste.
activities such as regimes for personal hygiene, ritualistic purification, and so on apart from law. So Minsky has analyzed the term dharma and its roots meaning and what the sages
This
had
is a
meant about
demonstration
dharma.
of wire caste.
He also says what the mistakes the scholars are doing in interpreting the definition of Hindu law or dharma. He says the mistake most scholars make, according to Minsky, is to search for a definition or concept of Hindu law modeled after the understanding of European law.
This
particularly
is a
the
demonstration
search
of
for
Wirecast.
preferably codified form of state-made rules. He opines that the purpose of ancient Hindu text is to offer guidance for negotiating dharma and not to lay down fixed rules. It is one of the purusharthas, the objectives or guiding principles for men by which human beings are supposed to lead a systematic and disciplined life. According
This
to
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Minsky, this is what he has on going through the texts and Vedas, Shrutis and Smritis. He has opined that dharma cannot be given a definition. It cannot be, dharma cannot be given. It has to be negotiated. This is what Minsky means, that in a given
This is a
particular
demonstration of
situation,
Wirecast.
it cannot be defined. But it can be applied in all situations. This is what is dharma or law or the Hindu law of our country. Now, he has also stated, one of the Western philosopher, Ludos Rucher, he says the Sanskrit term vivad corresponds to substantive law and the term vyavhara corresponds to legal procedure.
is a
These
demonstration
terms
of
too are
Wirecast.
met with a lot of ambiguity. In fact, vyavhara, which also has different meaning like doing, performing, conduct, action, behavior, practice, has been interpreted by many thinkers as a formal legal procedure. Minsky, however, understands it to mean settling a doubt in the context of Hindu law, which may vary from sorting
This
out
is a
a mental
demonstration of
doubt to a
Wirecast.
formal court hearing before a king. So it means that even if a person has a wrong conception or any doubt, any mental doubt about his way of life, for that also we have answers in these Vedas, Shrutis and Smritis. So this is what Minsky means, that from a human mind,
This is a
if
demonstration
any
of
question arises,
Wirecast.
if any doubt arises, or if there is a situation in a king's court where there is a dispute and there are questions which cannot be answered, the dharma, the Hindu law defines or it gives a solution. It negotiates and settles the dispute. Minsky believed that law is never a given
This is a
and must be
demonstration of
constantly
Wirecast.
negotiated. And in this respect, the concept of dharma got it right for its consciousness of plurality in a feature of Hindu law. Its consciousness of plurality is a feature of Hindu law. So, as I said, that law is never a given, it must be constantly negotiated. So this was
This is a demonstration of
the
Wirecast.
concept of law or dharma during the ancient Indian scenario. So also the punishment, that is the danda, they said danda not only have a different effect, it was given with the aim of reformation of the person who was punished. The punishment took into account
This
the
is a
nature of the
demonstration of
offense, its motive,
Wirecast.
antecedents, as well as the culprit's character. No individual was condemned for life. So this was a concept where the accused was dealt in by the dharma. Now, after analyzing the term dharma by Indian Sikhs and the Western philosophers, now I would like to
This is a
bring to
demonstration
your
of
kind
Wirecast.
notice that the Vedas, the Shrutis, the Smritis also laid down ashrama, dharma to human beings in order to regulate the whole life of an individual.
This is a
these,
demonstration of Wirecast.
Ashrama dharmas are, I think all are aware of these ashramas. The first one is brahmacharya, second one is grahastha, vanarprastha, sannyasa ashrama. These were divided as per the duration of a human life, considering to be 100 years. Each ashramas were given 25 years.
This
For
is a
brahmacharya it was
demonstration of
25 years.
Wirecast.
For grahastha thereafter 25 years. Vanaprastha 25 years and sannyasa ashrama 25 years. Under the subtitle of brahmacharya, the first ashrama dharma, the Hindus were required to send their children to Gurukulas in order to complete this ashrama. Now for
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
instances, I would like to give some of the instances where the children were sent to the Gurukulas at the time of Rama Yuga or at the time of Treta Yuga. Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, they all had been to Gurukula in order to complete their brahmacharya
This is a demonstration of
with their
Wirecast.
Guru, Vasishtha. It was the dharma of Vasishtha as a Guru Dharma. He used to inculcate all the principles of Dharma to his disciples so as to make them fit to lead their life
This is a demonstration of
in all given
Wirecast.
situations. So these principles of Dharma were required to be learned by all the disciples for a period of 25 years, and thereafter they used to return back to their kingdom. Now, comparing this situation to the present situation, just for a comparison study, when Lord Macaulay enters India,
This is a demonstration of
he sees
Wirecast.
that the Gurukula system, which was existing as on then, is a main cause wherein the people, the citizens of this country as on then, were required to be diverted by bringing in the Western culture of education. This is how
This
the
is a
concept
demonstration
of
of
Gurukula,
Wirecast.
which was available under the ancient Hindu law, was gradually, I would say, eroded. Maybe there are some schools as on today who are trying to get back that glory of Gurukulas to India, but when Lord Macaulay had entered India, it gradually started eroding.
This is
and
a demonstration of
we
Wirecast.
started or intended to forget all our ashramas which were given by Vedas and these Shrutis and Smritis. Now, insofar as Grihastha ashrama is concerned, it is said by all these saints and sages of the ancient Hindu India that Grihastha ashrama was one of the toughest ashrama for the mankind.
This is a demonstration of
In fact, an
Wirecast.
instance is quoted wherein in Shanti Parva of Mahabharata, Yudhishthira, after winning over the Kauravas, when he comes back and is thrown as a king of the Hastinapur, after some time he was not happy with the family affairs of his
Wirecast.
brothers, and out of frustration he wanted to take sannyasa and go to a forest in order to get peace. At that occasion, Vyasamuni, who was the guru of these Pandavas, intervened, and as Yudhishthira was known for his
This is a demonstration
Dharma,
of Wirecast.
as he was also known as Dharmaraja, he reminded about these 4 ashramas and said that he cannot, as a Dharmaraja, cannot escape from this Grahastha ashrama or Vanaprastaha and directly go to sannyasa. So realizing that fact, Yudhishthira thought that as it is the dharma of an individual to complete his 25 years of Grahastha ashrama and thereafter finish the Vanaprastaha and then sannyasa and to accept sannyasa ashrama. So this situation reminds that everybody in life has to follow these 4 ashramas in order to regulate the life of an individual and in order to attain worldly pleasures and
This is a
spiritual
demonstration
stability.
of Wirecast.
Now, another ashrama dharma which is required to be brought to the notice of the viewers is Varna Dharma. Now, Varna Dharma is nothing but it is a caste system or classification of the caste
This is a
which
demonstration
was
of Wirecast.
based on the vocation or occupation or karma of an individual in the society. Basically, on the basis of karma of an individual, the varna was determined. And it is only on the basis of the karma that was felt important that this varna dharma is required to be followed.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Now here, the 4 varna which are required to be, though all viewers are aware of this fact, a group of persons who were engaged into the study of Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Japa, Tapa, making of sacrifices,
This is a demonstration of
etc.
Wirecast.
They were termed as Brahmins. And a group of persons who were engaged themselves into the protection of people, study and war, etc., were called as Kshatriyas. And a group of persons who were engaged themselves into trade and commerce were called as Vaishyas. And the 4th class of persons whose duty was to serve the people were called as Sudras. This was the division
This is a demonstration
which
of
related
Wirecast.
to Varna Dharma. Now I would like to give an instance in respect of this Varna Dharma as to how people were treated as per this Varna Dharma, taking an example from an instance from Mahabharata,
This
where
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
where including the Dhritarashtra, Vidhur, Bhishma, and other persons were there at the place where they used to decide the disputes, were all were deciding as to who would be the next
This is a
Raja
demonstration
to
of
the Hastinapur
Wirecast.
kingdom. When it was decided, a soldier comes along with 4 persons and requests the minister of the kingdom, who was Vidura, that there is that the 4 persons have committed murder of a person in a village, and they are required to be punished.
This is a demonstration of
Then Vidu
Wirecast.
thought that this would be an opportunity for the Raja, the Dronacharya Guru and Bhishma to decide that who would be the next Raja to the Hastinapur kingdom, or the Uttaradhikari. Here Vidur requests Yudhishthira and
This is a
Duryodhana
demonstration of Wirecast.
decide the case and to award punishment to the accused persons. Though Duryodhana was not requested to do so, he abruptly stated that what is there to decide, that these all persons have committed murder, and therefore they are required to be given death punishment. And accordingly he says that I will give, I would rather say that they should be given death punishment. Then Vidur requests Yudhishthira to tell about his judgment or his decision. Then Yudhishthira stands up and asks the 4 accused persons their caste. The first person says that he belongs to Sudra. The second says he belongs to Vaishya. The third says he belongs to Kshatriya.
This is a demonstration
and
of
the fourth says that he
Wirecast.
belongs to a Brahmana. Then Yudhishthira says that Shudra should be imprisoned for 4 years. Vaishya should be imprisoned double the Shudra, that is 8 years. Kshatriya 12 years, and Brahmana 14 years. Then Duryodhana
This is a demonstration of
made
Wirecast.
Comment on the said punishment, which was sentence which was given by Yudhishthira, and the Maharaja, that is the Dhritarashtra, questions Yudhishthira, what is the reason for you to punish them in such a manner?
This is a
Then he
demonstration
says,
of
he being
Wirecast.
the Dharma Raja, he says, in Dharma, Shudra, who doesn't understand or he is unaware about the Dharma, or he is unaware about the laws, is required to be punished lesser. Therefore, he is given 4 years of imprisonment. Vaishya, who is
This is a
aware
demonstration
about
of
the worldly
Wirecast.
knowledge, as he does trade and commerce as by a vocation, he is given double the Shudra. Kshatriya, who is required to protect people, despite that he has killed a person, therefore he was awarded 12 years. And Brahmana, who is considered to be guru of all these remaining varnas, and who is said to
This is a
know
demonstration of Wirecast.
Vedas, Shrutis, and all the principles of Dharma. Knowing all this fact, he has done this murder. Therefore, he is given 14 years of imprisonment. So this was a situation where the punishment or the dharma was done by Yudhishthira.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
This was done for the reason that the first Varna, that is the Brahmana, was considered to be the guru of all other Varnas, and he stood as a guiding factor to the remaining Varnas, so also to the king of a kingdom. So, if the
This
said
is a
Varna
demonstration of
Dharma
Wirecast.
on the advent of the British rule, this system of Varna Dharma was utilized by the British rulers in order to divide the people and get their work done. So this policy of divide and rule diminished our dharma, which we had
This is
had
a
high
demonstration
regards,
of Wirecast.
and we followed it in a true sense. Though this caste system was prevalent, and though the people had the knowledge about their own caste and their own limitations, but still the society was peaceful and there were no such discriminations which were made.
This is a demonstration of
Mutual.
Wirecast.
Now this the advent of British rulers, this Varna Dharma came to be misutilized, and subsequently the people started losing or tending to forget this dharma which was prevalent as on then. Now, after looking into the origin of the
This
Hindu
is
law,
a demonstration of
though
Wirecast.
there are many other principles which are required to be elaborated, but due to constraint of the time limit which is required to be followed, I would next proceed to the Anglo-Indian period of Hindu law, wherein we lost our classical Hindu law and started following judicial precedents, legislations, post-independence
This is a
also.
demonstration of Wirecast.
Now, Minsky has very wittily and perfectly has given the situation after the Anglo-Indian period about the Hindu law. I would just quote a paragraph which the Minsky states
This is a
about
demonstration of Wirecast.
the advent of the British rule and the subsequent. He says, Werner Minsky provides an interesting insight into this period, that is the Anglo-Indian period, for he believes that this was a period when classical Hindu
This
law was
is a demonstration
misinterpreted
of Wirecast.
and misconstrued, to quote him, starting off with imperfect assumptions about the nature of law and having sought the wrong kind of expert help by asking misconceived questions to their native law officers, as the Pandits in their service were called. The British engendered a complex process of distortion The morass of Hindu law
This is
got
a
deeper, and
demonstration of
eventually
Wirecast.
the monstrous hybridity of Anglo-Hindu law was produced. I continue what Minsky says. Glorifying Hindu law, or rather classical Hindu law, Minsky says Hindu law represents a culture specific form of natural law. It is an ancient chthonic legal system, that is the deity legal system. At the same time, as a holistic legal system, it emphasizes and instrumentalizes the intricate connection between different internal linking elements of the whole experience of human life. Hindu law thus falls formally within the theoretical parameters of the historical school of jurisprudence, which treats legal rules as organically grown, social attested normative orders, and therefore does not accept legal positivism encapsulated in the claim of the state to be able to determine and enforce rules in an authoritarian fashion. So this is how Werner Minsky described that the classical Hindu law, which was prevalent in India, but after the advent of British rule, it started, I would say, eroding, because the people were fascinated by the English law, or the England law, which was brought in by the British rulers, and slowly the judicial precedents, legislations were being started, and we started adopting the laws of, or the pattern of laws which were there at England or other countries. So this is how the origin of the classical Hindu law
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
rather came to be forgotten by all of us. Let us not do it, because this Hindu law, as said by all the philosophers, the sages and seers, is given by the Almighty God through Vedas, through Shrutis, Smritis. Let us not forget this, and let us not deviate, and let us not adopt the laws of other countries or the procedures of other countries. Let us emanate, or let us start glorify our country with these Dharma, principles of Dharma. Let us follow it in our society, in our individual life, and let us be an example to the entire community, or to the entire world, that India stands on a different footing, and let us follow the path which is being followed by India, that is the Bharata. And therefore I would conclude saying, so we all shall also inculcate such dharma, or the principles, in our individual life, in our society life, and also in our avocations, and lead a peaceful life. Even the Supreme Court, I would like to quote that in a case of Ramesh Yashwant Prabhu case, has said that Hinduism, or the Hindu law, is not only religion but a way of life. So we cannot say that it is a law, it is not a religion, but it is a way of life which is required to be adopted. Therefore, I thank one and all. Namaste. So this is how
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.